Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. My name is Highruler, and today's video is going to be talking about kind of some things that are going on, right? We've seen a couple of content creators make some videos talking about the state of the game. Jay notably has talked about the marketplace and how he believes they're fumbling the ball here, and I would agree with that, right? We look at this. I've seen some other people talk about the state of the game with regards to the blog and communication and how that kind of turns them away. And I would also agree with that as well. But there are some things we have to keep in mind, right? So let's talk about everything that is going on with the game and where we're at with the game. So it's April 19th, right? We are in the middle of episode 1 of season 1. Now, here's the problem with that. The content that we got with season 1 hasn't been sustainable for the player base, right? It hasn't been anything that players want to engage with long term. So, because of that, players will now look towards episode 2 and then season 2. Here's the problem with that. Episode 2 isn't changing the formula whatsoever. It's going to add a couple new missions, it's going to add a couple new gear pieces. But if you don't like what you're doing now, you're not going to like it in a couple weeks from now, where you're going to have to do that stuff all over again to get the new pieces of gear and redo that grind and that chase, which means that nothing they talk about now is going to be worthwhile to what you're looking forward to within the game, right? That's just the truth of the matter. Season 2 is way too far away. They won't talk about that. They won't touch that. They won't do anything, right? And we've talked about before how their marketing is kind of not great, how they didn't really tease things before episode 1. And I do agree that they should have done better with that. And they probably, hopefully, maybe will do better with that with episode 2, but we're still way too early to do any of that talking right now. So it kind of leaves them in a weird place where we're done with the content they gave us. We're looking towards the next pieces of content we're going to get, but the next pieces of content we're going to get aren't going to be anything that's going to be the greatest things ever, right? So even when they do start talking about it, the overwhelming opinion of those pieces of content are going to be like, that's it? Like, really? And that's going to be the next conversation we're going to have. The conversation after that is going to be that the season 2 isn't great either, right? Obviously, the character, where they're going with that. I don't think there's going to be any major changes with the seasonal model. So they're really not going to change anything, really. And people are going to be like, we waited all this time for this. So it kind of leaves us in a weird spot where the next pieces of content that we're going to get aren't going to be what people want them to be, which is going to be something different than what we have already, right? So then where does that leave us? And that leaves us with the marketplace. And right here, these skins do deserve quite a bit of criticism, right? They're recolors, they're not the greatest, and it doesn't really get anyone excited, right? So right off the bat, we're not excited about the communication, we're not excited about the content we're getting, and we're not excited about what they're trying to get us to spend money on. That's 3 big L's right there, right? With regards to the game and everything they're trying to do. So where do they go from here? How do they fix it? Can they fix it? The easy answer is that it probably won't be fixed, right? I know we're at a point where everyone's looking towards the Gotham season, right? Everyone wants the Gotham season to be the greatest thing ever. You know, everyone's looking towards Deathstroke as the savior of the game, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Truthfully, if they're already planning an out for season 5, which is early next year, I don't think they're going to address the seasonal model in such a way that will make things more substantive than what they are now, right? So, for example, we do know that a raid might be coming, right? It was teased by Axel. He put some eyeballs, whatever. Like, he has teased a raid. Yeah, I mean, Marvel's Avengers had their one and only raid as well. It's not out of the realm of possibility Suicide Squad gets a raid, but I don't think we're going to be seeing a major update to the seasonal model here that makes things better or different than what they are. They already have it planned out, right? Especially with their marketplace and not really self-sustaining, I would imagine, because no one wants to buy these skins. So what does that mean? It probably means that right now, they're not really putting their full effort into this game, I would imagine, right? They're kind of just making what they can, putting it out there, and just going with that. They're not even trying to milk us with good looking skins, right? Obviously, we have heard from, some content creators who have, means to know that certain skins have done better than others, right? Which means that they have an idea of what's going to sell well, but obviously it does take time to make those. So they kind of have to go with the stuff that they've already made. So I'm hoping that maybe by season 2, we'll see some skins that actually matter to us, like the movie skins, the animated skins, or the comic skins. But even then, if people are already kind of leaving your game in droves, is that really going to matter as well? It's kind of an interesting death spiral here for Suicide Squad. And I don't blame anybody for leaving, right? Or playing other games. I think it's healthy. I think you should play other games than focusing on one that's making you unhealthy or unhappy. But I think at this point in time, we kind of have to stop believing that this game is going to be anything different than what they've shown us. There is a small possibility that the content they offer could be different at some point in time, sure, but we have an idea of what's coming in episode 2. We've seen what's coming in season 1 because we've played it, which means we do have an idea of what's coming in season 2 because I don't think they had enough time to take in the feedback and adjust it. So we know what's coming there. And they've talked about it, right? Like they know that they have to start talking about episode 2 soon, but what are they really going to talk about? And that's the problem, right? I would agree that these blogs should probably keep us more updated on things that are happening like they have done in the past in terms of the bugs and the fixes. Because as some of you guys know, I still can't play the Joker. So I still can't play a character that's brand new to the game. And I think that's kind of shit, even after their fix. So yeah, like keep us updated on that stuff. But I think we kind of have to stop believing that this game is going to be anything totally different, or it isn't what they've shown us. It is exactly what they've shown us. It will probably still be exactly what they've shown us 9 months from now, a year from now. And by then, the game will be wrapped up anyways. So what does it matter? You know, I think at this point, if you don't enjoy the game for what it is, you're not going to enjoy this Deathstroke or Gotham season, right? And I'm not trying to be a doom and gloom here. I want to be real with the people that watch these videos, right? Because I understand that this game is not for everybody. But I think there are still people who believe that this game is going to be something totally radically different by the end of the year. And more often than not, that's not the case. It will still be probably the incursion missions, maybe with a raid by that time. But at the end of the day, this game will be exactly what it is. They're not going to rework the game from the ground up. They don't even care to give us cool looking skins or plan for that after they saw Marvel's Avengers fail at that for so long. You know, if they don't take notice of something that their competition did before this game even released and kind of catered to the people who wanted to spend money, what gives anybody any thought that they're going to radically change the game after they got all of our money anyways? And then they know that there probably isn't a lot of money coming in from new players, even if they were to invest that extra time, because the reputation of this game has been tainted and it's just thrown in the mud by now. So at the end of the day, I think we take this game for what it is. It's a looter. It'll probably have the year of content. Will that content be for you or for me? If you enjoyed season 1, episode 1, probably. If you didn't, you might want to delete it. And that's kind of what it is. I hate to be kind of grim about this, but I think a lot of people are over dramatizing this blog post today and making it out to seem like what it is and what it isn't. And the truth is, content wasn't good enough to hold us. We're still too early to talk about the new stuff that's coming. And the new stuff that's coming for episode 2 isn't going to be great. And season 2 is just going to be a repeat of season 1. So by the time you look at any substantial changes to the seasonal model, it's going to be what, fall? Or late summer? So at that point, what is even the point, right? Better to just go enjoy the things that you enjoy than every Friday look at a blog and say, like, what the fuck are they doing? I agree. What the fuck are they doing? But we kind of have to keep our expectations in check here. And this probably is what they should be. They're giving us this. And that's really all there is, man. I just saw a couple of people talking about it, and I hate to tell you guys what to do, but I think there are some people who are irrationally angry over this. And not to say that, Rocksteady deserves people not to be upset about the state of the game. I think they should. But I think when we look at these blog posts, we shouldn't put our hopes and dreams in these blog posts, just because I don't think, even though a blog post that's going to outline everything for the rest of the year, I don't think that would do anything. I think all that would do is just make people upset, because either they're not being told what's coming and they're upset about that, or they're going to be told what's coming and they're going to hate what's coming. The game just isn't offering enough for the people that want it to be something different. And what they are offering isn't enough to sustain the player base for what it is. And I think it's a really hard place to be in if you're Rocksteady and Warner Brothers right now. So I'd like to be wrong, but I think at this point in time, you just kind of take it for what it is. And we kind of watch from afar their next steps. And, I'm sure 3-4 months time, we'll have an idea of what feedback was taken in and iterated on. And until that time, we're just going to sit and wait. So if you guys want more news coverage, more, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a nice little comment. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your day and night. Take care of yourselves. Later, guys.